I've made a ton of different American flags with different logos on them for a lot of different people that just asked me to make them for them. And listen, I'm no Ohio State fan, but I thought this one came out pretty cool. And there was a bunch of other ones that came out really cool as well. This one was a wavy one that I put together. I thought it was really cool. It's another wavy one that somebody wanted with like a walnut color on there. I thought that came out really neat. I did one that was a Harley Davidson flag. I thought that was awesome with the orange stars. The camera I was using, well, it wasn't the best back then, sorry, but this is a different view of it. But the number one flag that I've ever made, I just thought it was the coolest thing I could do was one for our local fire department, and it was on 9/11. You can see on the side it says never forget, and you know, the epoxy and everything. And we got to donate this to the fire department. My boy was there, he helped me make it. I just thought it came out really, really cool. I think it was probably one of the highlights of anything I've ever built before. And, you know, Home Depot partnered up, they supplied the stuff, and I just thought it was cool. But I started getting comments, and I never really addressed the comments on how I really built these. And a lot of the flags that I made were distressed flags, meaning they were torched and then stained. And some of the questions were, well, how do you do the staining and the torching without making it look bad? And well, that's what I'm going to show you today, my friends. We got some woodage right here, and there is a specific way to burning, distressing, and then staining. So I'm going to do something pretty simple here, and I'm going to show you the right way of doing this and the wrong way of doing this. Now, the whole point of distressing is to make something look old, beat up, or like it was in a war or something. That's why distressed flags are so popular. They want to make it look like it was through something, like the Battle of Gettysburg or something like that. So the question is, do you stain first or do you burn first? Well, on the left-hand side here, we're going to burn the piece of woodage first. We're going to distress it with a torch. I use the yellow propane tank because it just burns a little bit hotter and makes everything a little bit easier. But we're just going to distress this up like we were making a distressed wooden flag. And on the other side of the woodage, we're not going to torch it first. We're going to torch it after we stain it. We're going to see which one comes out better. Now, don't worry, I'll get a little bit more in detail with the blue stain, but this is red. We're going to use it first, and we're going to apply this over top of both sides, the side that was already burned or distressed. You can see that the stain blends in with everything. You can see the streaks and everything. The red stain goes over top of it, and it just blends it really, really nicely. Now, if you were to do that first, you're going to get that really nice look. However, you can see that we already have this side stained, but we didn't distress, and what happens now is we're going to distress it using the torch, and instead of everything infusing together and looking real nice like, well, it just burns all of the stain off. And then on the blue, I'll show you something that's really weird, but you can see it's starting to turn yellow and everything's just starting to, I don't know, it just doesn't look good. All that red in between those lines right there, in between the grain, it's not filling in with that red. And that, my friends, is not real nice like. However, you're really going to be able to pick up on the blue and just how bad it is. So on the left, you can see that we distressed it, torched it, then stained it first. And then on the other side, the right side that I'm pointing here, that was stained first, and then we went over it with the torch, and it just does not look as good. Okay, so let's take another piece of woodage. This is some cedar here, and we're just going to take it and we're going to distress one side. And this burns out real nice. We're just going to go halfway, hit it in darker areas. Now imagine this is your flag or your piece of wood, or maybe you're doing an end table, maybe you're doing a coffee table, maybe you're doing a work table. Doesn't matter what you're doing. I like the distressed look. I think a lot of people do too, maybe coffee tables, whatever. But we're going to take that blue and we're just going to put that in on everything. We're just going to put it down on the side that we didn't distress first, and then we're going to put it on the side that we did distress first. Now here's the issue. This stain has been sitting out in the garage for quite some time. This is a gel stain, and it's a little bit thick because it's cold outside, so I'm struggling with it a little bit, and I'm too lazy to go out and warm up a stain before I do all that, but you'll get the point when I'm done with this here. Now, depending on how dark you want this, you can add more stain, or you could just add one coat of stain. I think today we're gonna do like maybe just one coat of stain. I don't know. I'm not feeling, I'm weak and lazy and feeble today. So there's our one coat of stain. All right, so you can see on the right-hand side, we went over a little bit across the line here, but the one side, it's already done. But watch what happens when I start heating this up. First off, you're gonna get all that smoke. It's gonna stink, but it starts like boiling the stain, and then it turns it this weird greenish yellow color. I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but especially like blues and stuff, even the red does it. Not only that, you're burning off all of your stains. So all you're gonna do is end up with the charred look without really good coverage of the stain, and you'll see in a different angle when I show you how much better it is to do it the other way. You want to burn first and then stain. So you can see it's just burning off that stain. Doesn't look really good, and it leaves this really weird film that I'll show you here. All right, let me show you. So this is the before and after. So the one that we torched after the stain, it left that really weird film, and on the other side where we did the distressing first, that stain basically locks that in. You don't have to worry about like the film and the soot coming off of the burn woodage. It's a million times better. So look at that, it just doesn't look good. So if you're doing a project and you were to put that torch over that stain, it's not gonna look real nice like. So there you go, my dude and dudettes. You can definitely see a difference between, you know, torching it and then staining it compared to staining it and torching it. It's just way better to torch it first. Do the distressed work first, and it's gonna pay off and look much, much better, much more professional than what it would be the other way. And now if you wanted to put an epoxy down on this, or if you wanted to just seal it, you're not gonna have any issues. You don't have to worry about any of that soot coming off and getting into your finished product, because the stain sort of seals in the carbon anyway. So let me know what you think in the sweet comment section below. Love hearing that sweet feedback. Check out this video right here, and we'll be back with more videos soon.